Okay everybody, this video is number 12 on graphing quadratics. This time we're going to do vertex form. Okay, so what we look at over here, guys, follow the gold, is what we typically call vertex form. And the reason why is if you look inside the equation, you actually see the vertex. Okay, but we'll get to that here in a moment. So let me clean this up here a little bit. So the first thing we do, guys, is we make a table. Okay, you're going to again be taught shortcuts or so on, but guys, trust me, sooner or later you're going to want to be very proficient at making tables. Well, how do we start our table? We look inside our parentheses right there, and we ask ourselves, what makes it 0? 3 makes it 0. That goes right in the middle of the table this time, guys, because that is where the vertex is. Okay? And then all you simply do is, now that we know where the vertex is we're just going to count up and down a couple numbers. So notice I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could have done 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just keep them in order, guys, with the vertex right in the middle. Okay? So now it's just a matter of plugging in the numbers. So we'll start with 1. And following PEMDAS, we know we have to do parentheses first. That's -2. We're now going to square it. So we're going to end up with 2 times 4, because -2 squared is 4, plus 4. And 2 times 4 is 8, plus 4 is 12. Now, because we happen to have the vertex, guys, as a nice whole number, we have symmetry. So 5 is also going to be 12. But of course, you could plug it in if you don't believe me. Continuing on, I'm now going to plug in the -2. See how I plugged in the +2, sorry. And 2 minus 3 is -1. -1 squared is +1. So I did parentheses, I did the power. Now I'm going to multiply by 2 and add 4. 2 times 1, 2, plus 4 is 6. Again, because of symmetry, 4 is also symmetry. And now the only thing left is a vertex. And just to make sure, guys, let's just go ahead and plug in the 3 and see what happens. You see, 3 minus 3 is 0. And when I square it, it's still 0. When I times it by the 2, it's still 0. So all I have is 0 plus 4, which is 4. And now it's just a matter of graphing it. 1 is 12. 2 is 6. 3 is 4. 4 is 6. 5 is 12. And as you can see right here, guys, I got a nice quadratic, a nice parabola. Okay, pause the video if you need to. Let's do one more. Again, how do we start? We start by making a table. We look right in the middle of our parentheses. What plus 4 is 0? -4 plus 4 is 0. And that's going to be what we call our vertex. Right? Now I'm just going to count up a couple numbers and down a couple numbers. See how I kept them in order? You also could have done -6, -5, -4, -3, and -2. Just make sure you have the vertex in the middle, and we have a couple points on each side of the vertex. Alright, let's do our table now. Plugging in -2. 4 and -2 is +2. Squared is 4. Notice the negative kicks in after we do the parentheses in the square. We add 1, we get -3 there. And of course, we're going to get -3 there as well because of symmetry. Next, we'll plug in the -3. -3 plus 4 is 1. Squared is still +1. Negative kicks in. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0 there, and then negative 5 is 0 again because of symmetry. Finally, the vertex. We'll plug in our negative 4. Now, we really didn't have to do this, right? Because we know that's 0 squared, and a negative is still 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. Now, it's just a matter of plotting the points, guys. So we're going to start with negative 2, negative 3, negative 3, 0, negative 4, 1, negative 5, 0, negative 6, negative 3, and there is our quadratic or parabola. Now again, note guys that this time our vertex is what we call a maximum value. Maximum, and it's opening down because of the negative. Likewise, if we look at our first graph, notice it's opened up, and our vertex this time is a minimum. Do you agree that's the lowest it gets? So that's what we call a minimum. Okay, so guys, that's all there is to it. I'm going to do one more video on standard form, and this should definitely help you with the basics of graphing quadratics.